Hey, it's Mazzy. Apparently, there's a record store day list out today. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen a little bit of thumbnails of people showing it, and there's like a Stop and Smell the Roses Ringo, which is actually a pretty good record. There's a Paul McCartney Half Speed Red Rose Speedway. I mean, do we need like a Paul McCartney's Red Rose Speedway that's half as fast as the one we have? I don't think so. But I thought, since I haven't looked in the list, now let me say this first. I'm actually a fan of Record Store Day. I think, let's say there are 100 records. I don't know, maybe there's more, maybe there's less. I'd say out of every Record Store Day list, every time of 100 records, there's like 20 killer records. The rest are kind of like, eh. But again, to each his own. We all have our own tastes and wants and needs, and we don't have access, or we haven't had access to records in some cases. I feel very fortunate. And so I thought I'd go around my record room here and just sort of, take a look. And maybe these are things that should be, this is Mazzy's Record Store Day wish list for others, for you. Now I have these, so I don't need them. But I think, let's okay, Sergeant Pepper's, million Sergeant Pepper's, right? This is a UK original mono Sergeant Pepper. Fabulous, fabulous. I think it's time, since we don't have, a lot of people don't have access to the mono box, and Revolver just came out. You had to buy a whole box to get a mono Revolver. I think Record Store Day should, there should be like a Parlophone Beatles Apple, Capital Parlophone Beatles Apple, UK, Record Store Day, Sergeant Pepper. Maybe like make it regional, 500 copies. That would blow heads off. Here's another one they should do. Okay, my favorite Dylan Annals, Blonde on Blonde, and I just did a shootout, some Blonde on Blondes. Let's have the Dylan estate put out Blonde on Blonde mono. I know there was a Vinyl Me Please mono thing with color. We don't need this color crap, just black. And let's put back Claudia Cardinale. I mean, I think she's dead. So let's get her estate to say, we want Claudia Cardinale back on the Dylan album. Okay? I think that would be a great record store. Limited to maybe 1,000 copies. Okay? Dylan, 1,000 copies. Maybe we press it in Italy, since Claudia Cardinale, isn't she an Italian actress? So I think that might be a good one too. Every year, it seems there's a Miles Davis Record Store Day thing with outtakes of Bitches Brew, or some kind of Miles Davis. So why don't we do this? Let's do a version of Miles Davis. You're Under Arrest. Is that what it's called? You're Under Arrest? Yeah, You're Under Arrest. Okay. Let's do a version. Let's come on. Let's modernize it. Let's retouch out the gun. We don't need the gun, but let's make it a special thing. On this record, it is Time After Time. So let's keep one side of this, and let's keep the other side of Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time. They're both Columbia. We can share it. So one side of the record is Cyndi Lauper, and one side is Miles Davis. I mean, doesn't she dance? Isn't she dancing with her dress on the cover? So we have Miles Davis on one side and Cyndi Lauper on the other side. That would be, maybe 5,000 copies of that. And okay, I think another great thing for Record Store Day should be a Morrissey record. They should recreate this cover and have a different actor playing the Morrissey part. You know how he had cover stars on his records, and I think it's that one record where he replaced Terrence Stamp because Terrence Stamp wouldn't allow him on a Smiths record. So I think 5 labels should announce Record Store Day, like a best of a special edition of Morrissey thing. And then there should be like 2,500 copies announced, and it should be canceled. Okay, one thing they really need to do for Record Store Day, which I would totally support, is a Paul McCartney 3 box set. And the McCartney 3 box set should have a special lenticular cover of this Ed Ruscha. Beautiful cover. Actually, I like this cover. But in the box set should have every color edition of McCartney 3. So one box, 8, 10, 12 versions of McCartney 3 with every single color combination. That should be a box set. That should be limited to 100 copies. $1,000, I think, would be a fair thing. That would sell out immediately. So a McCartney 3 box set of every cover and color of McCartney 3. I think I'm missing some in the bin down there. There's one. Prog fans always deserve something for Record Store Day. So I think Atlantic Records and whoever owns it now, I think it's Warner still, Warner Music, should put out an expanded special edition of Yes songs. There should be extended tracks on this, especially a longer version of Close to the Edge, Starship Trooper, Yours Is No Grace. And instead of a 3-record set, this should be expanded to a 30-record set. Every song should be at least 45 minutes, and that should be on, it should open in a special Roger Dean expanded box that has about 18 gatefold things. So an expanded Prog version of Yes with, expand, add the Rick Wakeman solos, add the Steve Howe solos, add all the appropriate solos. Let Alan White, maybe he gets like 3 records of just drum solos alone on it. So an expanded version of Yes songs would be I think this would be the cat's meow for Record Store Day. We really need a reissue program. It's been a few years for them albums, and I think it should be a box set of the 2 albums with Van Morrison. I believe there are only 2. They could add a version. This is called the Angry Young Men. The box should be called Angry, and Van Morrison should sign every edition. So we need a box set of them, Angry Them, signed by Van Morrison. Limited edition of 10 copies, so we don't tire out a Van. He can sign all 10 copies. What's Record Store Day without a Grateful Dead box? There always should be a Grateful Dead box, and I participate. I love the Grateful Dead boxes. I think there should be a 10-volume version of Dark Star, the Ultimate Dark Star. 10 volumes like this of every version of Dark Star ever recorded on vinyl, single-sided, 45 RPM. And you get a Grateful Dead teddy bear, or those bears. What bear do they call? There's some kind of bears. Hand truck, and everything is kind of sealed in this hand truck with a palette of Grateful Dead Dark Stars. That would be amazing. I'm a big Willie Nelson fan, and I think it's time for this year on Record Store Day for them to be a collection of every single Willie Nelson record he's put out in the last 12 months. So I think that could be all 46 records Willie Nelson put out in 2022 up through 2023. We can go cross labels. There should be a special IRS tax submission thing. So at the same time while you play this records, you can, by April 15th, I don't even know what Record Store Day is, you can get your 2022 taxes applied at the same time while you're going through the Willie Nelson collection. That beautiful, all 47 records he put out in the last 12 months. Ever since Rick Rubin revived Johnny Cash, did these amazing albums on American Records, American Recording Company, whatever Rick Rubin's label is, the Buddha himself, the great producer who just listens and points, and that's how he produces records. I think there's one record that needs an expanded edition, and probably even a picture disc, and come with some seeds. They should include seeds, like ephemera in records. And I think they need to do a special expanded edition of Look at Them Beans. Look at Them Beans, Johnny Cash. I guess that's John Carter Cash, is it? I don't even know. The liner notes are June Carter Cash. So Look at Them Beans. I mean, what have you got planned tonight, Deanna? He's thinking about some other woman, isn't he? What, June's not enough? But this, I think, would be a great expanded edition, and a picture disc. A picture disc of John and John Jr. with the Beans, Johnny Cash. You know, none of that America stuff, the American music stuff that's very folky and modern. All the hipsters jumped on the bandwagon. I think it's time. I think this is the one. So a picture disc of Look at Them Beans, Johnny Cash for Record Store Day. Neil Young, the archive series. Now for Record Store Day, Neil Young has put out some amazing archival records, great sounding records, wonderful records. I mean, one of his masterpieces, you know, if you could only have one Neil Young album and nothing else, you know I'm going to say which one is the one. If I was to say pick one Neil Young record, and that would be the only one you could have in your collection, it would definitely be A Letter Home. In a box like this. This was recorded in Jack White's telephone booth at Third Man Records, and I think there should be a special box set. It should be one of those big cube box sets in DVD only, DVD audio only, and it should have every single phone message that he left for all the members of Buffalo Springfield when he canceled the reunion show, you know, after they just started it, and teased Richie Furay and Stephen Stills. And I think it should be a box set of all those messages of him calling Stephen Stills. Well, he probably didn't call. Basically, it's Stephen Stills, Richie Furay leaving messages on Neil Young's answering machine. What the fuck, Neil? How come we're not continuing? We practiced. We played the bridge school. What's going on? I think that would be kind of a great Record Store Day, because you don't need that as a regular release. You know, it's there's only the diehards are going to want that one, but I think that would be a great set. Kind of the same design like this. I mean, come on, how sweet is this box? And finally, I think this would be a kicker too. I don't think Analog Productions has ever put out something only for Record Store Day. So I think they should release this. And it should have nothing in it. Just this. It's a conceptual thing. It's performance art. I think it's something that Chad Kason should consider. He should put it on its website and bury it in the website so you can't find it. And release, oh, I'm sorry, this is brick and mortar stores. Record Store Day is brick and mortar stores. Okay, every record store gets one copy of this, and it's hidden within the store. And you have to find it. You have to search to find it. It is $500, and this is what you get. Record Store Day, the box. QRP, Analog Productions, the box for Record Store Day. So that's my list. If you have any ideas what you think should be on the list, I'll probably look through the list tomorrow, see if there's anything I want this year. I enjoy Record Store Day. I have fun. I meet people. So I just think, you know, I think it's time for them to be a little more creative and think out of the box. Record Store Day 2023. I hope I shed some light on how I see this and what I would like and what I would consider if I was, you know, one of the honchos at one of these record companies and producing records. So thanks for watching. Smile once in a while. Mazzy loves you.